What is going on, ladies and gentlemen and creatives? I am so excited to be recording today, and today we have an awesome episode. Today, as a whole, it is a Sunday night. I'm feeling nice, relaxed. Just finished up a 7 mile run, so I'm feeling nice and insulin sensitive and relaxed. Yeah. And another reason on Sundays too, I've been working a lot on this whole work-life balance thing, which I highly encourage, by the way. And yeah, Sunday is just a good day to record because I'm feeling a little bit on top of things. I like to meal prep on Sundays. I go to church in the morning. I actually visited two churches today. So my social battery is full. I feel connected. I feel present. Went on two long runs today. And even things just so I know this week is going to be very busy. So I just kind of knew I'm going to take it easy today, not work a ton. Obviously, I did work most of the day on some light stuff, just preparing for the week, scheduling, getting some content together, checking up on the website, writing a newsletter, all sort of the low stress tasks. But yeah, I highly encourage you guys to have, at least one day of the week that is less hectic and less of a load on your central nervous system as far as work goes. Highly recommend. So, this episode of the podcast is going to be our second installment of the Creative Brief series, which, if you guys don't remember, is a 5 to 10 minute distillation of creative lessons that I'm learning throughout the building of my career and agency to help you become a more creative business owner. So, this week, our topic is to dig your well before you are thirsty and to create a 5 minute marketing habit. Um, the concept of digging your well before you are thirsty. This is one of the things I am so passionate about. It's one of the reasons I love and have been much more consistent on at least the past couple of years is LinkedIn, Instagram, supporting others, building relationships, and the concept of networking is relates to this topic so well, especially in the creative industry. And if you've ever heard the quote, dig your well before you are thirsty, I originally heard this quote from, I believe, Pat Flynn of SPI. And he talks about this in building a business, and it relates to me and it relates to my situation so well. So I've been full time on the agency for about 4 months now. I ran it alongside my contractor job for almost a year. And after that job ended, I was full time on the agency. And the reason I'm so passionate about digging your well before you are thirsty and and I'll get to the definition of it here in a minute, is most people only show up when they're ready to make asks. And you've seen this on LinkedIn in particular, it's very prominent. People only show up on LinkedIn or any social media platform for that example when they're ready to make asks. The only time it's human nature. When things are going well, our tendency is, to revel in it and, enjoy the fruits of our labor. We're not thinking to uplift others or put in our due diligence and build the processes in place so that when we're not in the feast state of our business or our life for the matter, um, we're prepared for the other side of that. A lot of us get complacent. This is especially prominent on social media, LinkedIn. Like you'll see it, people don't post for years, and then only when they get a promotion or like when their supervisor tells them to repost the company holiday party or something like this. But what digging your well before you're thirsty means genuinely being interested in other people. When you're having good times, when you don't need to make asks, which I think we should all be making asks regardless of the situation. Lacey Picasso, who, by the way, if you guys haven't listened to that episode, the episode with Lacey last week, entry 037, which we will link in the show notes. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the show, then please leave a like, rating, or review on whichever platform you are listening, because that does so much for the show. And we're bringing you guys a lot of value and stories and lessons and tools to become the best creative business owner that you can be and inspiring young entrepreneurs in the process. So if you guys are enjoying the show, please give us a thank you by just hitting the like button, leaving an honest comment, or sending us a message about what you like about the show or what you don't like about the show, because we very value feedback. You can send me an email at andy@mmgdesign.net, and I will read out your review in the next episode. But also check out the link in the description for the MMG Design Creative Business Owners Reading Notion Database. It's a curated database of the best entrepreneurship books. If you're looking to build a reading habit, you can look through this reading database and Notion, even clone it to your own and add more as you read and grow. We've gotten submissions from people that have downloaded it and have added their own books, and it's super awesome to see. Totally free. You can check that out in the show notes below if you want to build your reading habit. It has all of the descriptions of the summaries of the books, how long they're going to take, difficulty, and links to download them at the cheapest place online. So build your reading habit by getting started with the MMG Design Notion database. Back to the pod. Okay, so when I talk about digging your well before you're thirsty, these are some of the things that you can do so that when you have a need in your business, when you're doing outbound, when you need the reliance of other people, because that's what we do all the time. And I think there's nothing wrong with making asks. Like I said, Lacey Picasso is someone that totally reframed my mindset around making asks. If you've provided value to someone in the past and you're given to them and you build this social capital over time, as you've built this habit of building your network, reaching out, relationships, and I say all that, and it sounds so much more complicated than it actually is. And that's why I want to show you guys this 5 minute marketing habit, which is a twist on Austin Church's morning marketing habit that he does, which I will also link in the show notes. By the way, if you guys want to follow Austin Church as a freelance coach, he's the founder of Moxie. He's a fractional CMO, has great content around freelancing and business ownership. Leave the link to his newsletter below because it is fantastic. And some of these ideas are based on that, but there's a lot of original stuff in here. So I call it a 5 minute marketing habit to build your well before you're thirsty. So the idea of a marketing habit is to be genuine and engage with other creatives, other people. The idea is just to spend the time on social media and doing outreach in a productive way and not in a doom scrolling way. And I've tried to refine my process around this too, because if you don't kind of get in, get out, and Jay Klaus also had this analogy where he said when he's on social media, he's scanning like a hawk. He's not just passively scrolling. He's like a hawk looking for a mouse in the tall grass. And that's how you should be on social media. You should go in with an objective, with a mission, and actively try and accomplish goals. And most of that looks like commenting and uplifting other people. So when it comes to a 5 minute marketing habit, the fastest and most pain-free way is to do something along these lines. You can set up shortcuts to be on the pages on social where you message and support others. You can set a realistic comment goal every day. I use Notion and it automatically generates a template every day where I just a checkbox, 10 comments, 10 new follows on every platform. I'm currently active on LinkedIn and Facebook. Um, LinkedIn, Facebook, and X, Twitter, and you can have notifications set up for the people that you want to get in touch with. So if you're looking to stay in touch, you want to work with someone in the future, maybe a potential client, set up post notifications for them. You can be honest, positive, uplifting, supportive, and you also want to show genuine interest. And to be honest with you guys, just do it for one platform. This is how you dig your well before you're thirsty. You start with one platform and people will remember that. People remember when you people remember that comment, people remember that support. And this is why I'm something I'm so passionate on, is because when I was working at an agency and I was also building up my business, I had spent so much time giving and giving and giving and not asking for anything in return. And when you do that, you've built up this social capital, you've built up this network, you build up the reputation of someone who shows up every day. It becomes so much easier to make asks in the future. And because you've stayed in touch with these people, and it's it's just the most pain-free way to live the best life in your business, is because if worst comes to worst, you're still showing up every day. You've done what you need to do to stay top of mind and create opportunities of yourself, and you can always turn the faucet back on. That's what this gives you, is that it gives you an option B, it's covering all your bases, and it's also just being a good person. Staying in touch with the people that have helped you and that you're genuinely interested in is just good practice to become someone that's well networked and honestly just successful. So I've seen it come so much for me lately, and I'm actively trying to set the conditions to build the well more as I build the business because becoming diversified, staying consistent to what has worked so far, which is a lot of this stuff, and using this 5 minute framework, this 5 minute marketing habit is a great way to get started. If you guys want to start a 5 minute marketing habit, be sure to share it and you can tag the show or me in the comments, and I would love to see that. Um, get started on, just these small actions of digging this well before you're thirsty. I love that quote, and that was the episode in a nutshell. Thank you guys for listening to part 2 of the Creative Brief series. If you guys are enjoying this series, please let me know. I really enjoy filming these, and I want you guys to stay tuned for the next installment of the Creative Journal coming next Tuesday. Um, Probably one of the biggest guests we've had yet, and she's an absolute rock star from the UK, and she may or may not talk a lot about branding. She may or may not be at Adobe Max right now. She may or may not have one of my favorite Instagram pages in the world. And that is all we will say. Her name also may or may not have 3 letters and end with a Z. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Stay tuned for the next week's episode of the Creative Channel podcast, one I'm super excited to share with you guys. If you guys want to check out the show notes for this episode, all the resources we talked about from SPI to Austin Church and his newsletter, Freelance Cake, and everything else mentioned. I can't remember everything, but that's why we have links to the show notes. You can head over to mmgdesign.net/podcast, and you can see the links to all of the episodes with comprehensive show notes to follow along with the show. Thank you guys for listening this week. It's going to be an awesome week. Go out and kill it. Be creative and stay confident and do your best work. Peace.